Guys, Prof. Mosca Italiano here. We're going to be teaching you how to change nouns in Italian from singular to plural, and this is going to be helping you with your party invitation. So the idea is for your party, you need to create a shopping list of 10 different items that you would need your to buy before you start your birthday party. Okay. Now these items can be imaginary, they can be memes, they can be funny, but they need to match the theme of the invitation that you created earlier. But for the people who are just watching this video to see how to change things from singular to plural, we're going to talk about endings. Now, in Italian, if an object is singular, it normally has only a couple endings that it could have. For example, an noun could end in either O or it could end in A. Okay? There are exceptions to this where you can actually have a noun that ends in E. What I'm going to do is I might even turn off that light to make it easier for you guys to see. That should be a bit better. Okay, so if a noun ends in O, A, or E, it is normally considered singular. I'm going to give you some example nouns very soon, but when these nouns change from singular to plural, their endings also have to change. So if we have a look here, O actually becomes I. Okay, this is again, if a noun's ending is O, it turns into I. A noun's ending, if it ends in A, normally changes to E. And in Italian, if a noun is going from singular to plural and it ends with an E, it changes to I as well. Now, hopefully, before this, you've gone down and looked at genders of different nouns. That is very important when we're looking at Italian. Okay. For now, we're going to assume that you know about that. Maybe you don't. Always worth going back and having a look. We're going to do some different examples just to make sure that we've got the hang of it. So, for a birthday party, we would assume you need to buy, let's say, a cake, right? The word for cake is torta. Let's hope that that is in the view of the camera right now. Torta, okay? We know torta is one torta, okay? You can even put una behind it to say one cake. Let's pretend for our party we wanted to get two cakes. We would need to change this ending here to be the plural ending, and we need to change una. Instead of meaning one, we need to change to mean two. So one turns into two, which is due. Okay, pretty simple. You can choose whatever number you want from my class. If you'd like to say you get a million cakes, I don't mind. We need to look at the number list we're going to provide in class. So una would become due. Torta, if you look at this from singular to plural, you look for the ending of torta. Torta becomes torte. Okay? Just making sure that you guys have got that. Okay? It becomes torte. Super important. If a teacher is showing this in class, probably should pause it and just give you a chance to copy this into your book. Super useful in future if you ever want to convert things. We'll do an example for O and we'll do an example for E before I hightail it out of here. So a noun that ends in O, something that we need for a party. Let's say we want to bring a present to the party. The word for present is regalo. Okay? Now, again, you need the indefinite article in front of it to say one regalo. That would be un in this case. Un regalo. Hopefully you can see that. We need to change the ending of regalo to go from singular to plural. Okay, just a reminder. So the ending of regalo is O. If we wanted to say more than one present instead of just one, we need to first change un to whatever number. Let's say we're getting 100 presents, okay? The word for 100 is cento. Just like the word century is 100 years, cento is 100. And then we need to change the ending of regalo. So O turns into what? Have a quick look at this table on the board, almost called it a TV, on the board, and let's see if you can figure out what it needs to end with. Regalo. Give you a quick moment. It is regali. Fantastic, okay? So that is our example for O. That is pretty self-explanatory for O and A. We are going to do one for E as well. So we're going to find a noun that ends in E to convert it into I to go from singular to plural. Let's pretend that for your party you have drinks. You have soft drinks, maybe hot chocolates, and you need glasses. Okay, the word for glasses in Italian is actually bicchiere. Bicchiere is one of those tricky Italian words that ends in E. Okay, and not all Italian words that end in E are plural, which is tricky. Some singular Italian words can be ending in E. E is generally what students hate to look at because it doesn't really make much sense. So un bicchiere, okay, would be one glass. We want to change that to be, we'll change it to be like 12 glasses, okay? You find the word for 12 for my class. It's on the front page of your book. But I'm just going to write it down now. Okay, 12, and then we want to say more than one glass. So one glass, that's a funny square. One glass is E. You want to find the singular and plural change from E to something else. Have a look before I write it in. See if you can figure it out before I write it in. 12 bicchieri E. Okay? So in Italian, moving nouns from singular to plural is pretty straightforward. It does take a little bit of thought. It is worth making sure that you have the correct ending to begin with on singular, because if you don't, it can be confusing. But happy changing of your verbs. I hope you guys do well. Thanks for listening and watching.